Time now for our PIX panel. Joining us this morning, PIX 11 political reporters Henry Rossoff and Anna Harry, and from City and State New York, Jeff Coltin. So good to have you all here. There is a lot to talk about this week, okay? So let's talk first and foremost about the push to get New Yorkers back to work, okay? So Governor Hochul spoke at an event last week, and she said, quote, "You have flex time, but we need you back at least the majority of the week. Come on back, New Yorkers. We miss you." So, Henry, let me start with you here, because there's some political pushback about bringing people back.
Well, I think there's political and practical pushback. One, COVID is certainly not over as much as we all want it to be. We're looking at the makings of a potential winter wave. So there's serious safety concerns by what she's saying. But also you have the likes of Jumaane Williams, who's now running against her for governor, is worth noting, saying that the system didn't work for people to begin with. And we should really be focusing on what works best for families, what works better for folks who maybe weren't working in those ivory towers, and making work more flexible.
Yeah, and Dan, also want to mention, for businesses, a lot of them have discovered that they can still keep their employees productive and save on those big bills in terms of renting out this Manhattan office space. So that's also going to be something to look out for. And, you know, as Henry was mentioning, look, I've spoken to family members and friends. People say the old way wasn't working. They can't believe they would get up, take a shower, be on the subway, MTA delays, you know, kids are selling candy, people are breakdancing, all before you get to work. Now they can wake up, take a shower, log in, be productive. And people are saying when they're given that decision, go back to work or work from home, you know, some people are saying if I have to find a new job to work from home, I'll do that. So it's all a challenge for Governor Hochul.
No, I was in the room when she said it, and it was basically just one line in a longer speech. And I'm interested to see if she actually tries to incentivize people to go back to the office. I mean, it's not enough for the governor to just say, please come back. There's got to be a little more of a political push or a little more of a campaign.
You didn't hear that. You didn't hear that because I wasn't in the room. So that full speech.
It was the fact that she isolated it on Twitter that I think got her in trouble. Maybe that's the wrong term, but she highlighted it on her social media accounts, which I think is really what sparked this.
I'll also say she's not alone, because Eric Adams has said the same thing as well, that we need people to come back so that we can get these mom and pop businesses up and running. They miss their office workers.
It's very interesting because, Ayanna, I'm with you. I heard from a lot of people, business owners and employees, who just said, look, we're saving money on rent, and there's a new way of thinking.
There is.
So there has to be this new way of thinking about how to keep the economy going at the same time if people are going to do this remote option. Let's talk about the other big news, and there's some key races that we want to talk about. Attorney General, a lot of names kind of came out. Zephyr Teachout, Daniel Goldman. You covered this week. So how is the race shaping out so far?
Well, right now, I don't even think the field is settled, although these are certainly two marquee sort of announcements. Daniel Goldman is one of those guys that kind of has to remind people who he is, but once you realize who he is, you may remember from a couple of years ago. Zephyr Teachout, a progressive champion from the left. I mean, so far the field is interesting. I think we're going to see another couple of names hop in here. The field is certainly not set, is what I would say.
Names?
Brooklyn District Attorney Eric Gonzalez, I'm told that he is eyeing a run, and of course there is chatter that perhaps former Governor Andrew Cuomo may run for this seat. It's chatter. I don't know how serious it may or may not be.
His own lawyer yesterday threw it out in the middle of the press. You may have heard the chatter, and therefore you should consider certain things because he may or may not be. It was a little ridiculous to see his own lawyer openly speculate.
Exactly. An attorney talking about the speculation. Yes.
Eric Gonzalez was at the Somos conference as well, where I believe it was Ruben Diaz Jr. who was saying, you know, he would support him if he ran, correct?
Yeah, it was Ruben Diaz Jr. And then, I mean, the room was filled with, you know, everybody in politics, labor unions. I mean, Eric Gonzalez has a chance if he jumps in to be the kind of mainstream political establishment candidate. And we saw how Tish James won 4 years ago. It was that path.
I will say there's going to be some pushback on D.A. Gonzalez from criminal justice advocates who are saying that he simply hasn't been as progressive as they would like him to be as Brooklyn DA.
So let's talk about this now. The race for governor already crowded. So let's throw it up right now. 3 Republicans, Andrew Giuliani, Lee Zeldin, Rob Astorino, right, throwing their names in the mix. Then several Democrats, including incumbent Kathy Hochul, Tish James, Jumaane Williams. And then there's the looming Mayor de Blasio, right? No announcement yet, but he's sent out a number of tweets from his personal account saying it's time to get free pre-K for all of New York. So
yes, cable news appearance. He's certainly giving some very, 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 very heavy hints that he may run, but also keep in mind he's still wrapping up his current term, the last few weeks as mayor.
But what are you waiting for?
You'd have to ask Bill de Blasio, but
Can't get him on.
Perhaps he's waiting to end this term, wrap it up, put a bow on a few last things that he's working on before he announces. And also, there's another name that we can't forget, Tom Suozzi, Long Island congressman. He has been dropping some heavy, heavy hints So again, we just have to wait and see.
We talked about redistricting earlier. Redistricting probably won't be kind to him, which may motivate his run in part, saying, hey, I got nothing to lose. Let me take a shot at this.
But, you know, if you look, Jeff, at all of Tish James, Jumaane Williams, de Blasio, what does that mean for Brooklyn?
They are all progressives from Brooklyn. They often go after the same voters. Look, there's an argument here that if they all run, then Kathy Hochul can just waltz to victory.
Right.
She's a Western New Yorker. She's more moderate than the rest of them. It'll be interesting to see. There's speculation that maybe in the end, not all of them will actually run. Maybe one of them, two of them, you know, Jumaane Williams, de Blasio, they might not make it to the ballot.
Jeff, Ayanna, Henry, we are out of time. There was a lot to talk about.